By pen and voice, we are to sound the proclamation showing their order and the application of the prophecies that bring us to the third angel's message. There cannot be a third without the first and the second. These messages we are to give to the world in publications, in discourses, showing in the line of prophetic history the things that have been and the things that will be. Several have written to me, inquiring if the message of justification by faith is the third angel's message. And I have answered, it is the third angel's message in verity. The prophet declares, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. Brightness, glory, and power are to be connected with the third angel's message, and conviction will follow wherever it is preached in demonstration of the Spirit. How will any of our brethren know when this light shall come to the people of God? As yet, we certainly have not seen the light that answers to this description. So, panahon nila, sinasabi niyan, 1890, hindi pa nila naintindihan kung ano itong ibig sabihin nitong light na ito. God has light for His people, and all who will accept it will see the sinfulness of remaining in a lukewarm condition. They will heed the counsel of the true witness when he says, Be zealous therefore, and repent. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice, and open the door, I will come into him, and will sup with him, and he with me. Pero mula nito, ipinaalam sa kay Mrs. White, na itong light na ito, itong glory na ito yung righteousness ni Christ. At yan ay justification by faith. So, third angel's message po yan. Kasama yan sa present truth. Itong mga study natin patungkol sa ating mga ugali, sa ating karakter, third angel's message po yan. Huwag nating kalimutang pag-aralan din. Kasi, ito yung passport natin papuntang langit. Righteousness of Christ, na makopya natin yung kanyang katuwiran. Yun ang passport natin papuntang langit. The passing of time in 1844 was a period of great events, opening to our astonished eyes the cleansing of the sanctuary. Ito na yung Daniel and Revelation. Transpiring in heaven and having decided relation to God's people upon the earth. Also the first and second angels' messages, and the third. Unfurling the banner on which was inscribed the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. One of the landmarks under this message was the temple of God, seen by His truth-loving people in heaven, and the ark containing the law of God. The light of the Sabbath of the fourth commandment flashed its strong rays in the pathway of the transgressors of God's law. The non-immortality of the wicked is an old landmark. I can call to mind nothing more that can come under the head of the old landmarks. All this cry about changing the old landmarks is all imaginary. So, ito pong CW30, Counsels to Writers and Editors, page 30, paragraph 2. Ito po yung tinatawag natin na 7 pillars of our faith. Ito yung mga main na mga topics. Ito yung pinaka buod ng present truth. Marami itong mga sanga-sanga na maliliit na mga studies na under sa kanila. Pero in general, ito na yung present truth. Ito yung present truth. Kaya wag natin itong kalimutan. Wag nating kaligtaan na balik-balikan yung pag-aaral sa mga subjects na ito. So, Daniel 8:14 sa Bible. And he said unto me, unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. Dito talaga nag-umpisa ang pananampalataya ng Seventh-day Adventism. Advent movement. Ito yung pinaka-pundasyon niya. Revelation 14:6-7, first angel's message. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel, to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation, kindred, tongue, and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear God, and give glory to Him, for the hour of His judgment is come. Ito na yung cleansing of the sanctuary. Glory, ito yung character, Christ our righteousness. And worship Him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters. Ito na yung seal of the living God, Sabbath of the fourth commandment. And there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Revelation 14 verse 8. Ito yung dahilan kung bakit nagkaroon talaga ng Seventh-day Adventist na group. Dahil tinanggihan ng mga Protestant churches yung first angel's message at itong second angel's message, napilitan silang humiwalay sa mga churches at nagbuo ng panibagong group ayon sa utos ng Panginoon. At yung third angel's message, Revelation 14:9-10. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So makikita natin dito na kailangan talaga natin na pumili. Kailangan nating malaman kung paano tayo makapili na pumanig sa Diyos. Dahil merong beast at meron din siyang image o anino. Meron silang mark at yung mark na yan ay Sunday observance. Lalo na kapag pinatupad na sa pamamagitan ng mga utos ng mga gobyerno sa mundo. At kung matanggap natin ito, mapapasama tayo sa kanila na tatanggap sa galit ng Diyos, which is the 7 last plagues. So, ito yung third angel's message. Para magkaroon ng lakas yung third angel's message, meron siyang idinagdag. Maliban pa dito, Revelation 14 verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. At Revelation 18, 1-5. Ito yung magbibigay talaga ng power sa third angel's message. Bakit magbibigay ng power? Dahil patungkol po ito sa righteousness ng ating Panginoon, ng kanyang pag-uugali. Sabi dito, And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. Bakit magkakaroon ng power? Dahil kapag meron ng glory, which is the righteousness of Christ, masasabi din ng mga tao na kagaya nung nagpadala ng mga spy, yung mga pare sa kapanahonan ni Jesus, Ano yung nasabi nila patungkol kay Jesus? Never a man spoke like this. Wala silang makita-kita na butas sa kay Jesus. Kaya wala silang magawa. Umuwi sila ng walang nagawa. Makapangyarihan yung mga salita ni Jesus kasi nakikita din yun sa buhay niya. Yun ang importance ng glory na ito o ng kanyang karakter na mapasa atin din para kapanipaniwala yung ating mga sinasabi. Kasi yung mundo kasi, yung mga tao sa paligid natin, nakatingin lang yan sa atin. Tinitingnan nila kung yung galaw ba natin, yung mga ginagawa natin ay sang-ayon din sa mensahe na meron tayo. Gaya ng ganito na sitwasyon. Sasabihin natin, malapit na bumalik ang ating Panginoon. Pero saan yung focus natin? Sa mga bagay sa mundo or preparation papunta sa langit? Kapag may mga camp meetings tayo, alin yung inuuna natin? Kalahati na lang ba ng camp meeting tayo dadalo? Or buong camp meeting dadalo tayo dahil malapit nang bumalik ang Panginoon? Yang mga bagay na yan, may epekto po yan sa pagpaniwala ng mga taong bibigyan natin ng mensahe. Kaya kailangan talaga makita itong glory, yung ugali ng ating Panginoon sa atin para magkaroon ng power yung message. So, ano yung message niya? And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every false spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Kailangan nating maintindihan. All nations. Nations ay nangangahulugang churches. Yung mga iglesia sa mundo ay nakainom na ng wine, which means doctrine. Doctrines ng Babylon. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Kaya yung mga mayayaman sa mundo, yung mga leaders, kanino sila nagbabaw? Sa Babylon. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Kaya, nandito tayo ngayon. Alam natin, meron na sanang group, meron na sanang iglesia na itinayo yung Panginoon natin mula noong 1844. Pero dahil sa mensaheng ito, napasama siya sa Babylon. Nakainom din siya ng mga doctrines ng Babylon. Kaya naglabas ulit tayo. Ayaw nating mapasama sa kanyang kasalanan at ayaw nating makatanggap sa kanyang plagues. Kaya kailangan nating maintindihan yan. Kailangan nating maintindihan yan. Dahil kung hindi, mahihirapan din tayong ipaintindi sa mga tao na kailangan din nilang lumabas sa mga churches. At nakasalalay din doon yung kanilang kaligtasan. Kasi kung hindi sila makalabas, magiging partaker sila sa sin. Kapag partaker sila sa sin, hindi sila makakaiwas sa galit ng Diyos. At hindi ko na isinulat, sinama dito ang haba kasi Matthew 24, no? Buong chapter 1 to 51, ang dami-daming mga nakasulat dyan. So, para sa ano talaga itong present truth? The message of present truth is to prepare a people for the coming of the Lord. Gusto niyo bang maging handa? Gusto niyong matulungan yung mga kakilala niyo na maging handa din? Kailangan natin ang present truth. Kasi babalik na yung ating Panginoon. Babalik siya dito sa mundo upang kunin ang kanyang bayan. Let us understand this and let those placed in responsible positions come into such unity that the work shall go forward solidly. Kailangan talagang united yung effort natin. Kailangan maging solid tayo. Huwag yung iba yung mensahe ng iba, iba yung mensahe ng iba. Hindi yun makaka-prepare ng mga tao sa pagbabalik ng ating Panginoon. Ano pa dito? The first angel's message of Revelation 14 announcing the hour of God's judgment and calling upon men to fear and worship Him was designed to separate the professed people of God from the corrupting influences of the world. So, yung first angel's message, kasama ng present truth, designed ito para mapahiwalay tayo mula sa nakakasira na impluensya ng mundo. And to arouse them to see their true condition of worldliness and backsliding, para makita din natin kung ano yung totoong sitwasyon talaga natin, kalagayan. Kung hindi natin alam na tayo ay may kasalanan, makakahingi ba tayo ng kapatawaran? Hindi rin. Kung hindi natin makikita na worldly pala tayo, napapalayo tayo sa Panginoon, hindi tayo magiging handa. Kaya itong first angel's message, ise-separate niya tayo sa mundo. Ise-separate niya tayo mula sa mga nakakasira na mga impluensya ng mundo. At makita natin yung totoo nating kalagayan. Kapag nakita natin yung totoo nating kalagayan, mas maa-appreciate natin yung ginawa ng ating Panginoon. Mas maiintindihan natin na kailangan natin ng tagapagligtas. Ano pa? Great Controversy 390. Revelation 18 points to the time when, as the result of rejecting the threefold warning of Revelation 14:6-12, the church will have fully reached the condition foretold by the second angel, and the people of God still in Babylon will be called upon to separate from her communion. So, nakikita naman na natin, na yung three angels' messages ay nire-reject na ng mga iglesia sa mundo. Ayaw nila yung three angels' messages. Kasi, di ba, ang three angels' messages ay nagpapakita ng mga kasalanan. Ito ay straight testimony na messages. At nasasaktan yung mga tao. Dahil doon, nire-reject nila yung truth at naabot nila yung kondisyon na sinabi ng second angel, fallen condition. At kailangan nating tawagin yung mga tao palabas sa mga churches na yan. This message is the last that will ever be given to the world. So, merong mga nagsasabi na yung huling labanan daw ay kung ano-ano. Lumabas sila sa three angels' messages. Pero ito, klarong-klaro. Ano yung pinakahuling mensahe? Revelation 18. This message is the last that will ever be given to the world. Kaya maliban sa present truth, Daniel and Revelation, 3 angels' messages, Revelation 18, Sabat. Maliban dyan, non-immortality of the soul, wala ng ibang mensahe. At dapat yung mga nagbibigay ng mensahe ay hindi siya lalayo sa mga subjects na ito. Dahil itong mga mensaheng ito ay may kailangang magawa. It will accomplish its work. When those that believe not the truth but had pleasure in unrighteousness shall be left to receive strong delusion and to believe a lie. Ito yung delikado, mga kapatid. Kapag may tinanggihan tayo na bahagi ng present truth, iiwanan tayo ng Panginoon at matatanggap natin yung malalakas na daya na kahit yung mga kasinungalingan ay paniniwalaan na ng tao. Then the light of truth will shine upon all whose hearts are open to receive it, and all the children of the Lord that remain in Babylon will heed the call, "Come out of her, my people." Sa mga nag-aangkin na present truth na mga churches, meron pong ecumenism na nangyayari. Merong mga doctrines ng Babylon na nakapasok sa mga present truth churches. Kaya mag-ingat tayo. Kailangan nating maka-come out pa rin sa ganyang mga sitwasyon. Dahil nakakalungkot man isipin, marami nang naniniwala ng kasinungalingan ngayon. Mga kasamahan natin dati, mas pinapaniwalaan na nila yung kasinungalingan. At yan yung strong delusion. Strong delusion na po yan. Dahil lumalabas sila sa present truth na mga messages. Lumalabas sa present truth messages. Kaya inahayaan din sila ng Panginoon. Hindi kasi namimilit yung Diyos. Binibigay niya yung buhay, yung kamatayan, pinapahayag niya yung blessing at curse. Yung desisyon ay binibigay niya sa tao. Kaya kailangan makapag-decide din tayo na pumanig talaga sa ating Panginoon. Itong present truth, kailangan maibigay. The solemn sacred message of warning must be proclaimed in the most difficult fields and in the most sinful cities. In every place where the light of the great threefold gospel message has not yet dawned. Everyone is to hear the last call to the marriage supper of the Lamb. Ito yung burden natin, lalo na sa mga nasa katungkulan. Ito talaga yung burden. Paano natin ito maibigay? Yung sabi dito, the most sinful cities. Bakit cities? Nandyan kasi ang karamihan talaga ng mga tao. Nandyan naka-concentrate yung karamihan sa mga tao. Hindi ito kaya ng iilang mga ministro at missionaries. Kailangan namin yung tulong ng buong iglesia. From town to town, from city to city, from country to country, the message of present truth is to be proclaimed. Kaya kailangan maging settled tayong lahat Kasi kailangan tayong lahat ay makapagbigay ng message na ito. Not with outward display, but in the power of the Spirit. So, hindi na kailangan na malakihang event. Ano po? Kailangan lang na samahan tayo ng banal na Espiritu. At yung pinaka-punto niya dito ay sa pag-uugali ng ating Panginoon. The righteousness of Christ. Tingnan natin, no? Mag-isa lang si Jesus talaga sa panahon niya. Siya yung nagbibigay ng message. Pero natinag niya buong Israel at yung katabi pang mga bayan. Ano po? As the divine principles that our Savior came to this world to set forth in a word and life are presented in the simplicity of the gospel, the power of the message will make itself felt. Simplicity of the gospel. Kaya sabi ng Panginoon, learn of me. Kailangang mapag-aralan natin siya, kailangang matutunan natin yung mga kilos niya, pag-uugali niya. Pag meron na yan sa atin, kahit simple lang yung pagbibigay natin ng mensahe, yung kapangyarihan niyan ay mararamdaman. In this age, a new life coming from the source of all life is to take possession of every laborer. Oh, how little do we comprehend the breadth of our mission. We need a faith that is earnest and determined, and a courage that is unshaken. Our time for work is short, and we are to labor with unflagging zeal. Kakaunti na lang yung ating panahon, nakikita na natin sa mga tanda, sa mga pangyayari sa paligid natin. Kakaunti na lang talaga yung ating panahon. Kaya kailangan na nating maging mainit sa gawain. Our warfare is aggressive. Tremendous issues are before us. Yea, and right upon us. Nandito na yung mga issues sa mundong ito. Hindi na lang siya nasa harapan natin. Nandito na talaga. Let our prayers ascend to God that the four angels may still hold the four winds. So ito na ang pagpipray natin. Kulang pa yung nagawa natin, i-pray natin na wag pa talagang maging magulo ang mundo natin. That they may not blow to injure or destroy until the last warning has been given to the world, para maibigay pa natin yung mensahe. Then, let us work in harmony with our prayers. Gumawa na tayo ng mga plano kung paano natin ito maibahagi. Yung katotohanan na ito. Let nothing lessen the force of the truth for this time. The present truth is to be our burden. The third angel's message must do its work of separating from the churches a people who will take their stand on the platform of eternal truth. Everyone on whom is shining the light of present truth is to be steered with compassion for those who are in darkness. So tayong lahat ito. From all believers, light is to be reflected in clear, distinct rays. Kaya kailangan talaga nating maintindihan ang present truth para maibahagi natin ng klaro at eksakto talaga. A work similar to that which the Lord did through His delegated messengers after the day of Pentecost, He is waiting to do today. At this time, when the end of all things is at hand, should not the zeal of the church exceed even that of the early church? Kailangan nating malagpasan yung init ng iglesia sa Pentecost. Zeal for the glory of God moved the disciples to bear witness to the truth with mighty power. Should not this zeal fire our hearts with a longing to tell the story of redeeming love of Christ and Him crucified? Should not the power of God be even more mightily revealed today than in the time of the apostles? Kailangan talaga, mga kapatid, mas malawak yung ating coverage sa mensahe, kaya kailangan mas maging mainit tayo. The world is preparing for the closing work of the third angel's message. Yung mundo, naghahanda na siya. May mga quotation nagsasabi na una na siya. Satan has stolen a march. Nakapaghanda na si Satan. The truth is now to go forth with a power that it has not known for years. The message of present truth is to be proclaimed everywhere. The light of present truth is a precious talent lent to God's people by Him who is truth. It is not to be hoarded. Huwag nating sarilihin itong message na ito. But constantly imparted, ibigay natin sa iba. Ibahagi natin sa karamihan. The Lord desires that His professed people shall themselves profit by the truths received. It is given, first, for their own development of heart and mind and affections. Then, for the help and enlightenment of those in darkness of unbelief. So, sa umpisa, para ito sa paglago natin, yung puso natin, yung isip natin, yung mga damdamin natin, malumago na siya, ma-develop. Kapag na-develop yan, para makatulong tayo sa mga tao na nasa kadiliman pa. Study Revelation in connection with Daniel, for history will be repeated. We, with all our religious advantages, ought to know far more today than we do now. So, kailangan mas marami pa tayong nalalaman kaysa sa alam na natin ngayon. Ilang taon na itong present truth na ito dito sa Pilipinas? Sino-sino yung mga napasama mula sa umpisa? Nakakalungkot man isipin na merong mga taong mula sa umpisa pa ay nakarinig na ng mga messages na ito, pero nadadala pa rin ng kaaway palabas sa present truth. Reality po yan. Kaya kailangan talaga nating pag-aralan yung present truth para hindi tayo malihis ng landas. Brethren, the Lord calls for co-partnership in His work. He desires us to enlist our interest in His cause, as Daniel did. Ito yung gusto ng Panginoon. Sumama tayo sa kanyang gawain. We should receive great benefits from a study of the book of Daniel in connection with the Revelation. Daniel studied the prophecies. Kahit si Daniel ay nag-aral sa mga hula. He earnestly sought to know their meaning. Sinikap niya talaga na maintindihan ang mga hula. He prayed and fasted for heavenly light. And the glory of God was revealed to him in even greater measure than he could endure. Kaya, nung pinahayag sa kanya yung mga mensahe ng Diyos, yung prophecies, nagkasakit si Daniel, hindi niya kinaya. We are in equal need of divine illumination. Kagaya ni Daniel, nangangailangan tayo ng pagpapaintindi ng Diyos sa mga katotohanan ito. God has called us to give the last message of warning to the world. Tinatawagan tayo ng Diyos para ibigay na itong huling mensahe ng babala. There will be voices heard on every side to divert the attention of God's people with new theories. Maraming nagsisikap na malihis tayo ng landas. We need to give the trumpet a certain sound. Kaya kailangan nating maibigay talaga yung tamang mensahe. Yung hindi na paligoy-ligoy na mga mensahe. We do not have realized what is before us. Hindi pa talaga natin naiintindihan kung ano yung nasa harapan natin. O sa binasa natin kanina, nandito na. Itong mga pangyayaring ito, yung issue sa mundong ito, nandito na. If the books of Daniel and the Revelation were studied with earnest prayer, we should have a better knowledge of the perils of the last days, and would be better prepared for the work before us. We should be prepared to unite with Christ and to work in His lines. Kaya, kailangan maging handa tayo individually talaga. Kailangan maging handa tayo individually. Kaya ulit, sa huling quotation na babasahin natin, 2 Peter 1:12. Wherefore, I will not be negligent to put you always in remembrance of these things, though you know them, and be established in the present truth. So, sana mas mapatibay tayo sa present truth. Kailangan maging settled tayo dahil nangangahulugan din yan na sealing. Mas-sealed tayo na maging anak talaga ng Diyos at hindi na malilihis pa ng landas. At sana magawa na natin yung ating gawain individually at bilang iglesia dahil nakikita na talaga natin yung tanda ng pagbabalik ng ating Panginoon. So, happy Sabbath sa lahat at God bless.